My 997 Turbo is about a front bumper and a rear wing away from being completed and ready to run and drive. And that's not counting some small things like the AC needs charged. I have some interior parts that aren't quite in there, like the shift knob, and I gotta install the airbag. But all of these things are about to get installed because everything is painted, all the parts are in that I need. I'm really excited to get this thing finished up. Well, finished up, and then come the modifications. It might not seem like it, but there's a lot to do on this car just in these couple of parts that need to be installed, but luckily I have everyone's favorite garage assistant.
Tastes even better out of a can. Oh, are these the edible kind? Tastes like corn pops.
That is beautiful. This will match my front lip perfectly. This is a complete replacement for the rear bumper lower valence. These brand new from BMW are close to $1,000, so for about the same price, you can get this one that's completely carbon fiber. Now, in addition to installing this, I still have to install all the rest of the fender liners. I figured this is a simple bolt-on, snap-on installation, so I should be able to do it with the bumper on the car. And I think it's possible that you could, but after trying, I figured it would be best just to pull the entire rear bumper, because after all, it's not that hard to do, and I've done it plenty of times. I will say there are many parts of these cars that are easily serviceable, and then you go to change the spark plugs and it takes 7 hours. You win some, you lose some. Yeah, this is much easier to install this way. This installs like the factory one where it uses the tab and slot method, and it snaps really securely into place, and then these outer plastic trim pieces just snap on top of all that. Really clever design, and the fitment was excellent. That part looks dumb. We're going to trim that out. You can certainly reuse these trim pieces, however, I didn't think the bottom slot looked right against the carbon fiber. It was really unnecessary and kind of redundant. That's better. And I also decided to add 2 self-tapping screws, one on either side, just to make sure this thing doesn't go anywhere, though I don't think it was. On both sides, these tabs here at the bottom are good, but the middle and the top are not. So this whole thing is kind of loose. See it on both sides. So my plan, I think, is to drill small holes in these top ones and put a small zip tie in there. I think that's a better option than glue. But the rest of this carbon fiber rear diffuser looks amazing. Can't wait to get it on the car. Not perfect, but that's pretty good, and it's certainly not going to come off now. All right, let's take a look at this thing. Oh, heck yeah. It's kind of crazy that just adding this carbon lower diffuser made this bumper way more rigid. It's not all flopping around now like it's out of control, which might make install a little easier. Nothing like a good old crotch shot for you guys. Not safe for work. I absolutely love this lower diffuser. It's subtle enough, but it looks fantastic. If you guys would like to get one, this is from Vivid Racing, and I'll have their website linked in the description box below. They have a ton of parts, not only for Porsches, but for a whole bunch of other cars as well. It's finally time to finish this thing up. The front bumper is done. The wing is done. I gotta pick them up, bring them in here, and then there's a whole bunch of parts to install on the front bumper. This thing is huge and looks awesome. A whole bunch of vents, wiring, lighting, headlight washers. There's a lot of stuff. The wing pretty much just bolt on. I know you guys have been dying to see this front bumper on, but it's finally painted and I'm dying even more. So let's install a boatload of parts, get this thing on and get this thing looking like a car. So I've got the vent kit, I've got all the grills that go in behind the vent and behind the openings in the lower part of the grill. I got new marker lights, these are all from Rennline, hardware, and then I've got all the factory stuff as well. So there's a lot that goes into this front bumper before I can get it on the car. There's definitely more that goes into this bumper than your average front bumper. There's headlight washers, fog lights, turn signals, daytime running lights, side markers, multiple grills, multiple screens for the grills, the GT3 Smile vent kit. There's just a lot, and that's not even counting all the wiring and hoses. This has been forever since I took this stuff off. There's a lot of stuff that goes in this bumper, and I gotta figure out exactly how to route all the wiring, the headlight washer, tubing. There's a bunch of clips and screws, but we're getting there. Well, I think I ordered the wrong vent kit because this doesn't fit that hole. That's significantly too small. Let's put the Smile kit in. The GT3 vent kit plus the screen is also from Rennline and it simply bolts into place. That is after, of course, you cut the giant hole in the top. Luckily, they provide a template for that though, which I did in a previous episode. Now, the best part. The Rennline carbon fiber lip is beautiful and snaps into place perfectly. I just decided to add 2 screws on each side just for extra security. With any luck, this front lip won't touch anything once I start driving. With everything installed on the front bumper, it's time to install it, and I am pumped to see this thing on the car. The final piece of the puzzle and easiest part to install on the front bumper are the side marker lights from Rennline. I went with the clear version because I think it looks a lot better than smoked, at least on this car, and they are beautiful. Side marker works, looks phenomenal. While Donald finished up the installation of the screws on the lower part of the bumper, I decided to clean the front and rear bumpers because they got pretty dirty from installation, and then I moved on to some of the braces that go underneath the rear of the car that I just never got to. As you can see, the car is also missing all the plastic underlining trays, but I'll get to them after I drive it for a bit and make sure everything's good to go. One final thing to install then are the front fender liners. Not only did I get Donald's help, I got Bobby Boucher quotes and beautiful music from Toby Keith.
Look, it's perfect. Not only will I do it for you, but yes, I do it for you. Yeah, Uncle Sam put your name the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and the eagle will fly.
After that beautiful solo, it's on to the rear spoiler, which is as simple as can be to install. And included in that are the end plates.
I love the 996, but this is one of the sexiest cars I've ever seen.
Let's see if it starts. I backed the car up for one to make sure it still ran and drove, and for two, I forgot to replace some of these front lights, the daytime running lights. Actually, one of them was out, so I found some old LEDs that I had laying around. And they're just cheap ones from Amazon. I probably paid $5 for like 20 of them. Now I installed these and then realized that they weren't that bright, didn't look that good, and also gave me codes on the gauge cluster. And then I remembered I had these brand new Lost Fit ones, which have chips built in and gave me no codes, and off camera I swapped them in and they are amber and look phenomenal. I'll have a link to these below. After installing these, I had no codes on the dash at all. I think they matched the turn signals really well and the overall vibe of the car, as well as the Rennline side markers. Let me know what you guys think. Would you go white or amber here? I couldn't get to all the bolts with those subframe braces because the quick jacks were in the way. So this, I have to do the old-fashioned way, jack the car up one side at a time, get under there, and tighten them up. Luckily, there were only 2 of those to do. After that, I've got a package to open and install on this thing. I've had these for a few months now, just waiting until I was ready to drive the car, and we're ready to drive the car. I know, super exciting floor mat install, but I thought it was pretty cool that I could get these brand new, and it's going to show that my carpet is not faded. Well, you'll see in just a little bit. There. Now can you guys stop saying my carpet is faded, because these are brand new OEM floor mats and they match my carpet perfectly. Oh, I almost forgot, I don't think I showed you the door sill plates. Well, they work and look fantastic. These came with the car. I didn't have to do any wiring or anything like that, but it's just cool to see that they work, and it's such a cool option in my opinion. They look fantastic in there. The whole interior is coming together. I just gotta put that airbag in there, and the shift knob and some other miscellaneous parts. There's upgrades coming for the interior, don't worry. One of the few things stopping me from driving this is not having the airbag in here. The reason I have it off is because I still haven't fixed the PC, SM, PA, ABC, D, E, F traction control, whatever it's called. So I had this off because I was pulling the steering wheel on and off, but for now, I just want to enjoy this thing. Oh, there's that. Something else I have to adjust. You guys will probably see it here. See how my brake lights are on and no one's in the car? I think I adjusted the master cylinder too tight. Something else I gotta fix. When my brakes were seizing up, I adjusted this rod here, which is not uncommon. Of course, when I swapped all the parts over from the car, I had to kind of start from scratch and just guess. But I tightened it too much now, or loosened it too much. Either way, the brake pedal is no longer hitting the sensor, so I need to turn this back until it's just barely touching it. Oh, just nothing better than being under the dash. That's too tight, I think. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna cause the same problems I had before with it locking up. Oh, I hate that so much. You guys know the struggle. That's probably good there. Oh. I think that's good. Oh, won't know until I try. All right, let's see what happens. Crap. Why are they still on? Oh, it's that close. A tiny bit of me pulling. All right, I'm gonna snap my fingers and fix it. Ready? Yes! Fixed it! Let's make sure they work. Yes. Outstanding. All right, another problem checked off the list. Really, all I have to wait for is that not to be raining and dark outside, which has been the case the last week, essentially. Now this is not a full driving review of this car because this car still needs work. And I'm super cautious and wary of things that could and will go wrong. I love this thing. Oh, and the clutch still needs broken in. And there's the fact that I have no AC and it's rather warm. But this thing is driving like a dream, other than the super stiff suspension. That needs addressed for sure. I mean, it drives like it's on rails, but too stiff for the street. So cool to be driving this. But it is surreal driving this thing with a completed body. It doesn't look embarrassing to drive anymore. It looks like a complete car, which is awesome. It's definitely getting some looks, which is pretty cool. It's pretty neat, because this is a pretty unique car, and I'm so stoked to be driving it. I absolutely love this car, and I'm so stoked to finally start on the modifications.